that was my first day of filming, so it was a very interesting first day of filming. Fellow actor was awesome. He was really cool, but yeah, that toilet stank.
The starry undies that Lizzie was wearing, and I had to scream at her, and just the way she jumped, that was awesome. And I guess Viv doesn't really yell. Hadn't really yelled up until that point. Hadn't shown any kind of anger. It was kind of cathartic in a way, being a character that doesn't yell. I yell all the time. I'm always yelling. I'm always screaming.
Me or him? That was the first shooting night with Vito, who plays Chase. And it was really funny because at the end there's music that plays over, but every time whatever Vito said kept on making me laugh. So we had like 4 or 5 takes when I was just laughing when we're meant to be all serious and he's meant to be yelling at me. I could not hold it together. I just kept on laughing and laughing. So then Adrian had to tell him what to say. So because he just kept on ad-libbing and I lost it. Yeah, so even though that's a serious episode, I remember that as one of the funnest nights.
Never Been Kissed for me is a very bittersweet episode because it involves this hideous dress that I bought at the Salvos on Errol Street. Shockingly, in high school I used to do a lot of drag, shockingly. And I was a very opinionated little gay kid in high school. And I would have dreamed to have gotten in a dress like this. This would have been a dream. I always had to wear the old lady clothes because they're the only things that fit. And then when I went to get a dress for the episode where I do a Drew Barrymore and I get egged, and I'd never been egged before, and this is the other interesting thing. I have the knife story that comes up a little later on. That actually happened to me. I've had people spit at me. I've had people throw pee in bottles and throw it at me. I've had all of these questionably horrific, not very nice things happen to me based around my sexuality for most of my life. But I'd never been egged. So I thought, what a brilliant idea to write it into the web series, until I realised that I didn't really want to be egged. Which then it was too late because the reference and the joke was far too good. But I got this dress and it was too big. And I was super excited by the fact that a dress that in high school I would have dreamed to have gotten in and been like, yeah, I look sexy, which I wouldn't have. But I still was like, yeah, and then and this dress is too big. Irony, because I keep losing weight, so this dress is too big. But the eggs were really interesting because I got egged and then sort of had this moment of, oh wow, I don't live in Cranbourne anymore, which was silly because actually up until that point I think it was 8 or 9 months since I lived in Cranbourne and now live in North Melbourne, and it's a very different atmosphere for gay people in general. But it was this moment of wow, and then seeing my friends throw eggs at me because I forced them to, and seeing them actually look and go, no, I don't want to throw eggs at you, and it's like, oh, this is a very different
I Hate Brenda fan club. I really, really like this episode. I think it's going to come across really well to see the two competing storylines with Jean and Jude and Viv and Charlie. But I really like how aggressive Charlie gets, and she's like, oh, I'm going to get Brenda. I love that. That was hilarious. And then that was also filmed. I think that was like filmed on a night or something. It was real punch 'em out. So that was fun.
I love this episode because this episode is just Tony loves Beverly Hills 90210. Can you tell? The title, I Hate Brenda Fan Club, is after the fact that Shannon Doherty's character Brenda Walsh had a newsletter, the I Hate Brenda newsletter, and I just love the fact that I got to name something about Brenda.
Oh, that was also really, that was just a really heavy one, because even though we had already filmed it to recount and, you know, think about what I was talking about, I found that one a bit confronting, but yeah.